Good morning, everyone. So, are you busy looking over the fence? Are you busy drinking that Schlagen? I'm not good enough. Everyone knows it. Everyone's better than me. You know, do I have the right to be here? Are these thoughts circling your brain on the regular? Then welcome to the show today. We're going to be discussing imposter syndrome and self doubt with Michele Molitor from Nector Consulting on 10 at 10. So let's go. Good morning, everyone. Paula Mattisonsierra, Power Marketing SF, and the host of 10 at 10. This morning, we have Michele Molitor, founder of Nectar Consulting, consultant, speaker, author, coach, hypnotherapist. We got to talk about that one. Welcome, 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 Michele, to the show this morning.
Oh, thank you so much, Paula, for having me on the show. I'm really excited to be here with you.
So we got to dive into that last one because I found that interesting. Hypnotherapist. Talk to me. How does that work into the work that you do?
So I've been a professional coach for 21 years now. This month is my anniversary.
Oh,
And
congrats.
I became a hypnotherapist about 6 years ago, and I combined the two modalities together in what I call rapid rewiring. So typically over a period of 30 to 90 days, I work with folks using hypnotherapy to get at the deeper subconscious level beliefs and blocks that are getting in the way, that are putting the blinders of fear up. And then the coaching helps us expand what's possible from the conscious level to put new goals and strategies and behaviors into place. So we're creating whole brain transformation at a mind, heart, and spirit level. It's pretty exciting.
I love this. But how did you get on this path anyway? Because this, of course, they're lifestyle coaches, they're business coaches, folks that combine the two together. I've never heard of anyone combining those two together before. Like, how did you get on this path for yourself?
Sure. Well, I stumbled my way into coaching 21, 22 years ago. I was a creative director in web development. And essentially, I got bullied out of my job. And it was really painful. And it created a massive case of imposter syndrome for me.
Mm.
And I discovered coaching to help me figure out what the heck to do next in my career because I was petrified. I was absolutely frozen and I didn't know what to do next. And in the process of being coached, I actually discovered my true calling and purpose. So I went on to get trained and certified as a coach and hung out my shingle and started my business, Nectar Consulting, back in 2001. And over the years, I've been a complete and utter learning junkie. Like, how do we work better, smarter, faster? And why does my brain work one way and your brain works another way? And why do some people have confidence and other people don't have confidence? I don't understand. So I've really done a ton of research and study in these areas. And I stumbled my way once again into this particular type of hypnotherapy called rapid transformational therapy, or RTT. And it's a really unique process that combines hypnosis with cognitive behavioral therapy, neurolinguistics. I weave in somatics, energetics, and a whole host of other science based tools into this process. And essentially, it helps people get at the root causes very quickly and literally rewire your brain, building new neural pathways for greater happiness, greater well being, helping folks eliminate not only mental and emotional blocks, but oftentimes the physical blocks caused by chronic stress,
Mm.
um, worry, anxiety, etc. So it's been a compilation of things building up over the years, and it truly is my joy to do this work and to help people change their lives
I
in
love it.
very profound ways.
I love it. I mean, it's, So many of us go through variations of this, and we're taught to just fight through it, right? It's the American way, like get up,
Right.
just
Buck
dust it off,
up. You'll be fine.
shake it off, dust it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's frustrating when I hear that, because oftentimes the fear, the lack of confidence, the self-doubt that is the underbelly of imposter syndrome is based in experiences and often traumas that have happened years and years
before.
ago, right? That get bubbled back up to the surface.
Okay. Well, let me jump right into this question then, because I feel like you teed it up perfectly. Thank you.
You're
Um,
welcome.
are people finding distractions in their relationship and finding drama and pointless activities as a way of distracting themselves from themselves? Because what I'm hearing is things have happened to you, and that's part of your doubting yourself, but you're not dealing with it because you're distracting yourself with stuff. Am I correct?
Exactly.
What are those
You're
root causes?
absolutely right on point. So, um, based on your unique life experience, the family of origin that you grow up in, the culture, the ideals, the beliefs, it's unique for every single person on the planet. And I call it the water we swim in. So the environment that you grow up in fosters your beliefs about yourself, the values that you carry, and the drivers that move you forward in the world in ways that have you stay safe, right?
Right.
And so if someone grows up in an environment that was loud or abusive or um, emotionally cold, there's so many different ways that that plays out.
Yeah.
It has you decide things about yourself.
Mm.
I'm not safe unless I do this. So, for example, we'll take an extreme case. If someone grew up with a narcissistic parent, for example, and I see this a lot, um, those folks tend to have to be extreme people pleasers,
Yeah.
shape shifters to shift themselves to fit into any situation to stay safe, because otherwise they would experience the wrath and the anger of that adult figure in their life.
Yeah.
Um, and so it all of this is happening at an unconscious level, because as children we don't have the ability to process those issues, those traumas, those events. And so your amygdala takes over, which is your fight, flight, or freeze mechanism in your brain. It's two little almond shaped bits in your brain. And I call her Amy. Amy is that part of your brain that just wants to keep you safe,
I love that
right?
you gave her a name, by the way.
Oh yeah. Actually, one of my clients gets credit. She's like, I call her Amy. I'm like, oh, I love that. Amy
I'm
G. Dalla. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
She's the
I might have
culprit.
to steal that. I'm hearing that a lot of this lies in dogma too, right? That act of like living someone else's lives and living by someone else's rules.
Yes, absolutely. So we either tend to follow the pattern that we were given by our parents, by our grandparents, by our great grandparents. All these patterns are literally handed down at a cellular level, or we rebel against it and go the complete opposite direction in some shape
Mm,
or form,
yeah.
right? So, back to our example of someone who had a narcissistic parent, they tend to go the other direction because they don't want to have anything to do with that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
But it creates a lot of self-doubt, a lot of anxiety, a lot of
Mm,
fear, a lot of overachieving, because they're trying to be perfect to stay safe. It's all about staying safe, ultimately, when you boil it down. Um, and so if you had parent figures that weren't living their dream, weren't fulfilling their full potential, they I don't want to say oftentimes, but you've seen this probably a lot. It's described as tiger moms, perhaps. Of here, you're gonna do this, and you're gonna play the piano, and you're gonna be a great athlete, and you're gonna do this, this, and this, and this, because that's what I wanted, and I couldn't do that. So I'm gonna
yeah.
have you fulfill that for me. And kids do what our parents tell us to do 9 times out of 10, and then we wake up as adults one day and go,
What the heck?
I don't think I want to do that. Who said I had? I don't. Who said I had to do that? I don't really. I don't like this at all.
Michelle,
That's where
I see this playing out in weddings quite a bit. It's
mm,
like I got bullied into living your wedding because someone bullied you into theirs, and now you're going to bully me into having the wedding that you think I should have, the way I
yep,
should have it. And like weddings are supposed to be this happy occasion, and so often it's political and just so stressful. And like I always just look at it and go, "Oh my God, this should be a happy occasion," you know?
weddings, careers. It covers a lot of things. You'd be really surprised at how many people are unconsciously moving through their life based on the roadmap that they were handed by somebody else. And they never took the time to go, is this what I truly want? It's why I always have my clients do a deep values exercise. Like, what's
Oh,
really important to you? What are your core drivers? Not what your parents said or your siblings said or who somebody else said, but what's really important to you, and how is that showing up in your life or
oh,
not,
oh
because
my
it's
dear.
the place where your values are getting stepped over or ignored. That's what creates the dis-ease in our body that very quickly can translate into disease in many
No,
shapes and
totally.
forms.
And so it's basically, do I live a life that I don't love because I'm worried about what people or family or colleagues may think about it? And but what I'm really hearing at the heart of what you just said was, do I have purpose? Like my purpose,
Yeah,
It sounds like it
yeah.
starts there, Us.
Absolutely. And um you know, I stumbled into my purpose
I
because of
love
a
the use of
very
that word, by the way.
yeah, but oh, it was like the
What's
universe went, no, not this, girlfriend. Look over here, right? I mean, it was a painful lesson for me to go through because it crushed my confidence
Mm,
and my sense of self-worth and self-esteem. But it pivoted me in a direction in a way that I could have never imagined. The irony is, I was a psychology major. And in the ninth inning of college, I freaked out and was like, I can't get a job with a degree in psychology. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
oh
Ah,
my God,
right.
dogma.
Yeah. So it's funny how it all came
It
back
all
around
comes back
in
to
a good
full
way.
circle, right?
It
And
always does if you give
so
it a
let me
chance.
ask you a question here then. Like, what can we do to begin to change this behavior? Besides coming to Michelle and starting sessions with her, but what do we have to do? Because it sounds like we need to take some personal steps as well. What does that
Yeah,
look
well,
like?
it's really about um, taking time to pause and getting quiet with yourself, getting real with yourself. Journaling is a great way to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like what is it that I want in this moment now at this point in my life, wherever that point is for you, um, and really being honest with yourself. Do I really love the work that I'm doing? And
Mm,
if you're not a hell yeah, then hmm,
yeah.
what's in the way of having it be a 10 versus a meh? It's fine. It pays the bills. And so there's a lot of people out there who are doing jobs because it pays the bills. I get that, right? We all have to survive in life, but my goal is to help more people thrive by doing work that they love and love what they do, right? And they get paid well to do it. They get to live into their passions and their purpose and their expertise that they bring to the table, and finding the best way for them to do that that doesn't feel like you're pushing rocks uphill or living someone else's dream.
So I'm hearing, based on our previous discussion, our previous comment that we made, looking at our vision and what's in our soul and getting to our purpose is really kind of those first couple of steps that we need to really get real with, right?
Yeah.
What do we do after that, though? I mean, it's
So
like
then,
I've written it down. I have this thing in my soul. I'm still scared.
yeah.
What do I do next?
So then that's a great question, Paula. The next step is then to listen to what is the negative limiting voice in your head that's telling you can't actually do that. Oh,
Mm.
who are you? Why would anyone listen to you, Paula? What makes you think that you're so different that you should be talking about this? Whatever that might be. Noticing that limiting belief, writing those down, and then what's the exact opposite of that negative limiting belief, right? If you've got a belief that says I'm not enough, I don't know enough, I'm not expert enough, what's the exact opposite of that? Well, I am enough. I
Mm.
am expert. Whatever that flip is,
That
and
is,
then you get to look,
yeah,
which one feels better? If I tell myself I'm not enough
yeah,
or I am enough? Let me see. This one feels better. So
yeah.
tell yourself the thing that feels better and use that as a way to help move you forward, move past the fears.
Oh, wow.
And if you're still feeling stuck, then reach out, phone a friend, right? Whether it's a friend or an amazing coach, right? Or a colleague that you can get some outside objective perspective from
Okay.
and help you start putting those goals into place and moving past the fear.
So I'm hearing a wonderful exercise here. I'm hearing the exercise of just sitting still with yourself and just writing it all on paper. All those negative things, all of those self-talk, because
Mhm.
by that time it's like now we're what you're at your professional career, so you're going to be 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? No one's stopping you, no one's grounding you anymore. You don't have to be home by a certain time, right?
Phew.
You're an adult taking care of yourself. You're running a business, running a book of business, in your profession. So at this point, it's now a self voice, not what other people are saying to you. And that's what we're writing down, is what I'm hearing. Write down that and be honest that it's not coming from anybody else but you. You're not repeating
Yes.
the messages, right? I
I,
love
I
that.
hate to burst your bubble, folks, but you are responsible for
I
your
love
own
that.
life and you
Yes.
get to choose. You're always at choice.
Yes.
Now, the implications of different choices, those all need to be taken into account, of course. And um, you're always at choice.
I
So
love that.
finding the way to navigate that successfully is the tricky part. It's not always
I
as
love
easy as
that
we'd
then.
like.
So it's write out all of those. Just sit still with yourself and just list them. No one's around, no one's judging you. Just list them. Once you're done with listing them, I'm hearing you saying, now go through all of them and write down the opposite of
Right.
that.
What's the exact positive opposite of those negative limiting beliefs? Of the negative mindset that says, no, you can't do that. Yes, I can. Who are you to talk about this? Well, I have this expertise. That's who I am,
Yeah.
right? Whatever those are, and just noticing the difference in how they feel in your body, right? We
Mm,
tend to operate from the head up, I found, Paula. And when we start to take into account our whole body, our intuition, what
yes.
our gut is truly telling us, it has a lot to say, and it can really help guide you if you're paying attention.
That must be very cathartic to do. I mean, yeah. All right, so that's a very big step two. I'm feeling like step two is going to take people a while because that is a big chunk of thing to have to lay on the paper. Once they roll through, I don't know how long it's going to take. It might be quicker, it might be shorter.
Takes as long as it takes.
Takes as long as it takes. And then what do we do once we get that list and we can see, like, wait a second, look at what's in my head. Um, what's my step three?
Well, step three then is then looking at those new beliefs and choosing how you want to apply those new beliefs in your career based on your values, right?
Mm,
What are the things that are true to you, your core drivers, your compelling why? Why do you get out of bed every day? Is it to put food on the table for your family? Is it to live your best life? Is it to, fulfill a dream? Whatever that might be for you, what are the drivers? And then how do you align these new sets of beliefs with those drivers and then put goals and strategies for success into place based on this new perspective versus the old perspective, which typically is fueled by blinders of fear. and then only allow you to see this much when there's all of this available to you.
One of the things I'm hearing here, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because just in case others are thinking the same thing as well, a friend of mine told me the story how it's like, he's on this health journey and it's been kind of challenging, but he's like, Paula, I lost all this weight. I was in shape, but I literally got to that point and I was like, what do I do now? Like
Yeah.
literally, because it was so not part of his upbringing and his paradigms, he literally didn't know that the next, what seems to me, because I love to work out, the next obvious step was, well, you just keep doing it. I mean, now you have this activity as part of your lifestyle. What I'm hearing is the same thing when it comes to these new behaviors, that you're going to have to keep it muscled up. It's like going to the mental gym. Um,
Yes, absolutely. The mind gym. We got to take you to the mind gym. Well, one of the things that I create actually for each of my clients, Paula, as part of each hypnotherapy session that we do, is I create these customized recordings that have new beliefs, new behaviors, new thought patterns, and a very relaxing tone and cadence. And I mix in binaural beat music with it.
oh, nice.
And your homework is to listen to this recording every night as you go to sleep,
Mm,
right? And the repetition of that is literally what builds new neural pathways in your brain. So as you listen to these thoughts and these beliefs every night as you drift off, they're dropping into your subconscious mind, down into your long-term memory. Just like listening to a song on the radio over and over and over again, you remember the words from 30 years ago, perhaps,
yeah.
right? It's the same premise. So it's the way of exercising that mind muscle to adopting these new beliefs, getting past your amygdala, who's often standing guard. No, no, that's a behavior that's too outside of our
No, you don't
comfort
do
zone. I
that.
don't know about
You don't
that,
go
right?
to the gym and eat right. I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to get Amy on board, right? To create these new habits and push past the edge of your comfort zone to
Mm,
create a new familiar, right? Because your old familiar was kind of toxic and it wasn't working for you.
yeah.
So we have to switch those out, creating a new place of familiarity that is based in well-being, happiness, um, you know, excitement for life
Yeah.
versus maybe some of the negative beliefs that you'd been living inside of, but you didn't even consciously recognize it.
Wow. Uh, that's so much. I mean, I feel like we can go on with this one for a while, And so one of the things I'm hearing, guys, and the lesson that I'm learning today as well is, you get to that point, it doesn't mean that, oh, it's kind of like that great book. Well, I read it, I'm moving on, but do you really know
Check.
the book? Check, right? It's like these are things that you're gonna have to do. I love the mental gym, right? You're going to have to develop these habits into your day because these aren't habits that we were taught growing up. And therefore, they're things that we're going to have to just keep doing on a daily and just be a little bit religious about it in order to keep that muscle strong, you know?
Yep,
And I'm
absolutely.
thinking eventually it probably will just become habit, but for now, you
Yeah,
know,
it takes typically 21 to 30 days to build those new pathways, those new habits, right?
yeah,
That's why my program is um, the sweet spot I found is 90 days,
no,
right?
right.
Because over that time, we're able to dig deep and get at the negative beliefs and pull them out like a bad weed out of your subconscious, right? And then replace them with new empowering beliefs and habits and action strategies so that you can up level your success personally and professionally. This work applies not only to how do I grow my business, but how do I grow myself? How do I grow my life? How do I improve my relationships, my health, my well-being, my communication? So um, I've had I've had colleagues tell me I'm a bit of a magic unicorn because I, I bring coaching and business coaching and hypnotherapy all together in a way that really helps elevate people's thinking by removing the self-doubt and the limiting patterns that were implanted at a young age, and it just makes a massive, massive difference for folks.
Yeah, no, I think so. I'm like, giving yourself grace, right? Even if you step back a little bit. Because I've always heard that you can change habits in 21, 30 days. And I'm like, what happens on day 31? Like, what can we talk
Oh,
about?
gone.
Can we talk about 31? Do we just stop? Like, oh, I've done it. I've done the challenge. I did a 30-day challenge. It's like, yeah, what happens on day 31 though? You know what I mean? It's like, so I love this idea of almost like forgiving yourself if you fall off, and just
Hmm.
get back on and start again, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a meditation practice. You sit, you breathe, you focus on your breath, and then your mind goes, "Ah," and then, okay, hello, thank you. And then you sit and you breathe and you focus on your breath, and you just keep coming back to it and coming back to it. And over time, with practice, you get better and better and better at it, at shifting those behaviors and those beliefs that don't serve you any longer.
You said that a second ago. It made me take a deep breath.
Every time I heard the word breathe, I go,
So,
every time.
my dear, tell me about this book that you've written, before we go, because I love, with all of this great meaty information that we've gotten today, I wanted to have you share this book with folks and just give us a little bit about it before we close out.
Sure. So, just real quickly, I co-authored this book called Breakthrough Healing.
Yes.
It's written with 5 other healing practitioners. It's basically gives you an idea of other natural healing modalities that you can use to better your life, to better your health, your mental, emotional, physical well-being. We were talking a little bit about this before the show, right? There's so many beautiful tools that nature gives us, right, to
Yeah.
improve our health and our well-being. And so I'm a big advocate for that. And pointing people to various things that can help them, so that you don't always have to take the blue pill or the red pill, right, to change your reality. You can actually trust your own body, and the mind body connection is so powerful. So when you learn how to master your mindset, it can really
Mhm.
improve your health. I've had clients who literally have turned off 15 years of chronic IBS, for example, like that.
Stress is a crazy thing that we build on ourselves. By the
Yep.
way, I do love your reference that you worked in there to the Matrix, by the way.
Oh, well,
That was, yeah, very smoothly done, you know. So listen, everyone, you want to hear more, I would encourage you to reach out to my guest today. She has a test that she does. Actually, Michelle, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because there's a whole batch of wonderful free resources that she has. Um, Tell me about how people can stay connected to you.
Sure. So, if you're curious about how self doubt is getting in your way, I have a free self doubt archetype quiz. There are 5 self doubt archetypes. You can find out which one is getting in the way the most for you and how to overcome it. And then coming up on October 24th is my next free masterclass, Taming Your Self Doubt. It's a 90-minute masterclass on Monday, October 24th at noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we'll go through those self-doubt archetypes and some exercises and even a mini guided meditation to help you learn how to start calming your system and reclaiming your mindsets. And I also have a 7-week online course as well that I'm super proud of, called How to Become Unshakable. And it's how
Nice.
to overcome your self-doubt and really step into owning your value and worth in the world.
I love the title, by the way. You know, thank you for that. And you're going to send me the link so I can share it with
I
all
certainly
the audience
will.
today. Guys, today I know we went deep on our discussion. Thank you for staying in, and as always, thank you for tapping in on the recording later and sharing it. The continued mission here has been to just introduce you to everyday experts like Michelle, business owners as well who are willing to share information to up-level you. And of course, I do my marketing moments where I share marketing tips to inspire you as well. This was started a little bit before COVID. Really, we know what we know what we don't know, and we're surrounded by excellence. So why not tap into that resources? 10 to 10 here is every Thursday on LinkedIn Live. Thank you, viewers. Stay strong during this crazy period. Michele, take us out with a closing quote, will you?
Sure. So one of my favorite quotes to share is rewire your brain, think new thoughts, and your life will follow.
Perfection. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing day. And as always, keep moving forward. Take care, everyone. Bye.